Are you looking for a new football news app? Big man, it's been 2 whole years since you asked me this question, but luckily for you, I actually am. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you need to check out OneFootball. This is the app that gives you all the latest news from across the footballing world, as well as live score updates directly to your phone. With domestic campaigns and the Champions League in full swing, you're gonna want to know how to keep up to date with all of those competitions, and this app is exactly how. When you get the app, you can select your favorite club so that you hear everything there is to know about them. Whether it be PSG to Real Madrid, Manchester United to Alfreton Town, the jury's still out as to whether they're on the app, but I think, and even better than that, it is completely 100% free, so there is really no downside to having this. A link to the app is down in the description below, so make sure to go and download that right now. I'm telling you, yeah? I see you. Do it now. Yeah, look, personally, I still think Mingsy's got a lot to offer here. Yo guys, it is your boy Niran here, and you are watching FTW. This of course is a series where it brings you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. But what's been kicking off in the world this week? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been the wonderful time of Christmas, and an opportunity to spend the important moments with our loved ones, opening a 14th Sharebox Mega Pack Links Africa set from your uncle.
He's done it again! That is a foul!
And starting fistfights over Monopoly.
What's the game about? Wait a minute, you talk about Salah. The game's about score. The game's about goals, Jimmy.
The UK music charts right now are really encapsulating the Christmas spirit. Santa's done well once again this year with an expected presents value of 7 billion. And the festive period even conjured up some great football as well. I can't even enjoy Christmas. I haven't even opened the links. Well, that's simply preposterous. A depleted Leicester side dealt a huge blow to Liverpool's title challengers this week, with the Foxes taking home the 3 points via a 1-0 victory. Obviously, it's not an ideal situation, oh man, would you look at that? That's crazy. I've got to go. The winner in this one came from an Ademola Lookman strike set up by Kin and Dewsbury Hall. A man said his surname sounds like a wedding venue. This is what we've lost to. Mo Salah missed a penalty and a sitter for the follow-up in the first half. The curse of posting a Christmas tree has struck again. He did this last season. We went about 7 games at home without winning. Look, next year, alright, I'm arriving and I'm crashing this man's house as soon as I see a Christmas card in there. He's a world beater, and now it's the festive season. He's got the movement of Samir Nasri after a Christmas dinner. And Sadio Mane, oh my goodness. He missed a glorious one-on-one just minutes before Leicester took the lead. I don't know if we can allow him to travel with the rest of the squad. Look, boss, I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen again. It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Please, I'm begging you here. Just get out of the door, man. I'm not even kidding. I actually adore Sadio Mane. And the start of this season showed a lot of promise, but the last 2 months have kind of reminded me of what he was like last season. Jurgen Klopp's gonna be sending both of them to African Cup of Nations early at this rate. They're both gonna need to stay vigilant when they go to bed this evening.
One eye open when I'm sleeping.
Jurgen Klopp's been complaining a lot in recent times. I can only imagine he's gonna be vexed again. When we're in training, obviously, wind directions coming from a southwesterly sort of zone, you get me? Obviously, traveling at about 28 miles per hour. It was a more like 37 today, which unfortunately, Big Verge is sacking us off to go and star in a Netflix series. Listen here with your L'Oreal ponytail. Just because you use more shampoo than me, don't think I won't snap your knee again. Even the Queen knows that we're mudded.
Yeah, honestly, they are dead food still.
We did at least knock Leicester out of the EFL Cup earlier in the week with a dramatic penalties win after a 95th minute equaliser from Takumi Minamino. The best part of this entire game was the Dutch commentary joining in with a Liverpool chant. But look, fair fucks to Leicester, you've ruined our season, but for the injuries they've got, they're doing alright at the moment, and they'll hope to bounce back towards a European spot. It was an even more impressive result after their battering from Man City on Boxing Day. The league leaders ran out 6-3 winners after a second half scare. It's 1963 Boxing Day all over again. 91-year-old Clements was sat in front of his TV thinking he'd seen this before. Ah yes, it reminds me of 63. There was this thing called COVID. No, that's this year, Clements. What? We do realise Man City are actually nuts, by the way. They genuinely do not look like losing. No 9 goals conceded in this one. Defenders, lads, are we still long over from Christmas Eve? On the other side of Manchester, though, not quite as positive, as United were left fighting for their lives to scrape a point versus 19th place Newcastle. United fans waited 16 days for this, and they're gonna want to wait another 16 days for more. They made Joe Linton look like the best box-to-box midfielder in the world. Him and St. Maximin had United on toast, mate. Meanwhile, Lord Voldemort's got the freedom of the town in midfield as well.
The boy who lived come to die.
Fred and McTominay play football together like they're the Chuckle Brothers. I've actually had enough of United, and I'm supposed to hate them. It's even annoying me at this point. Their games, yeah, forget Sky, forget BT. They should be on ITV3, mate. It was a big week, to be fair, for Amazon Prime, who are hosting all of their games on the 28th and 29th. I mean, at least they know what they're doing. Imagine Hermes had the TV rights. Cristiano Ronaldo was forgettable again. His heat map looks like someone forgot to add the heat. How are these patches so light? This is him thinking of getting the ball, not actually receiving it. Almost as much yellow as the cards that he's picked up this season. One Newcastle fan took a banner to the game trying to convince Ronaldo to join them. You've got Joe Linton firing now, boys. You don't need him. One uncle found himself in a chat room with a Cristiano Ronaldo pre-recorded video. He seemed to think it was actually him, though.
Manchester United.
Salam alaikum.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
But to be fair, Ronaldo was not the only one underperforming here. Ben White doesn't watch football. Harry Maguire can't be watching it either. This man only has a 12-inch TV to watch it on, and it says Panasonic on the front. You've been sold a smartphone, lad. Marcus Rashford's one more bad performance away from having to sign up for NCS this summer. If he doesn't pick up soon, he'll be handing out leaflets outside Oxford Circus. Excuse me, sir, do you have time to talk about our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ? Ah, yes, I remember meeting that Jesus man once. Clements, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? And it doesn't seem as if Ralph Rangnick is solving the problems straight away either. I don't know what teaching this guy was doing, but it's not improving the grades so far. He's meant to be the tutor for some of the best German managers out there. There's no way he's convincing Thomas Tuchel to come back into class for geography lessons, though. Elsewhere in Arsenal's positive results are continuing after a 5-0 thrashing of bottom of the league Norwich. I can't lie, though, these lot were taking the piss in this one. Arsenal also celebrated their goal of the year this week. It was an Alexander Lacazette finish against Sheffield United last season with Aaron Ramsdale in goal, something the Frenchman reminded him about on Insta, and I don't think he appreciated that as a Christmas gift. And after a goal on his debut in the EFL Cup against Sunderland, youngster Charlie Patino received a message on Insta about his Football Manager counterpart, who for one fan hadn't been getting his head down and improving much as a footballer. Charlie himself responded and said he needed to have stern words with his virtual self. Not as great though for Norwich. Pitch invaders in their most recent game have a genuine chance of being their top scorer in the league, and they had this to say about Chelsea loanee Billy Gilmore.
Welcome back to Chelsea!
I mean, he's been one of few players that's been alright in it. How are you gonna get annoyed at him when you've got Angus Gunn in between the sticks? EFL, look, listen, just impose some sort of sanction on these lot, just for 1 year. We can't have them wasting a spot every other season. Now, I've got good news for Leeds United fans and some bad news. The good news is that Calvin Phillips announced at a Christmas party that he's not going anywhere.
Oh, go, Calvin! I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
The bad news is, he's not got any legs anymore. At Man City now, and defender Ruben Diaz posted this lovely family picture over Christmas. I've seen more smiles in A&E though. The monopoly must have caused some friction in this household. At Crystal Palace, and Wilfred Zaha is taking Boxing Day a little bit too literally. Everton's game against Burnley got called off for a COVID outbreak for the visitors, as Begovic was gutted that he didn't get a chance to play up top for his side. At Spurs, and they brought out this Spider-Man themed celebration in the week. Marvel presents no trophies away or at home. Meanwhile, the club themselves posted some behind-the-scenes footage of a Christmas training session. Mate, and Dombele's fighting for his life here. Get the guy an inhaler. Declan Rice is providing the wholesome content over at West Ham.
You're right, Dad.
Here we go, let me give you my shirt.
Oh,
How are you?
you'll be freezing.
Now, I've got a Coke.
Thank you.
How are you? You alright?
And in an interview this week, former AFTV regular Troop sparked controversy, saying he thinks that Arsenal as a football club should be treating him better.
Bro, I don't get respected in England. Like, yeah, I get views, but I don't get respected. I don't get invited nowhere. Like, I went to New York and I'm going to Yankee Stadium, one of the biggest stadiums in the world. These men are throwing red carpet out for me. Arsenal don't even acknowledge me. I don't want acknowledgement, but I'm saying, like,
yeah, but a little bit of respect. Like, you've kind of made the club relevant. I'm not gonna be honest.
Bro,
when it comes to
people
Arsenal,
back me in America and they're like, Troops, you made me an Arsenal fan.
I mean, AFTV All Access would be pretty funny. Imagine DT trying to inspire in the dressing room. Look, I get what you mean, but I just don't think, quote, volleying his wife is gonna win us the midfield battle. For what it's worth, contrary to popular belief, AFTV has definitely had a role in raising Arsenal's online profile, negatively or positively, but that's purely on an online, like, social media, YouTube basis. They're already a massive club. They owe it to their fans, of course, to treat them well, but I don't know if they owe that much to fan channels specifically, but they're certainly not going to give you the red carpet treatment if you've ever beefed any of their players. That's just how the world works. Now, most of Europe is having its winter break right now, so there's not much going on. But in France, and we've got one of their presidential candidates providing the worst technique I've ever seen, Strasbourg fans were left heartbroken after a 7-hour journey to Clermont was rewarded by the game being postponed due to severe fog. And there's the touching story of Jonathan David, who lost his mum, Rose, 2 years ago in December. He celebrated his goal this week by lifting a rose towards the skies. A proper poignant moment and a proper poignant picture. Over in Spain, and Barcelona have signed Ferran Torres for £55 million. I don't know who's gonna tell the bank about the overdraft they've just gone into for this purchase. He's also got a £1 billion release clause. 1 billion, fam. Not even the government can release you. You're there for life, man. Over in Portugal, and Porto beat Benfica 3-0 in the cup. Benfica's Roman Yaremchuk was trying to annoy Otavio, who was telling the Ukrainian just to look at the scoreboard instead. And in the same game, Nicolas Otamendi managed to injure himself and get sent off whilst he was in agony on the floor. In Russia, and Rubin Kazan have released their annual Christmas song again.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
In Turkey, and Galatasaray will feel hard done by having 44 shots on goal and still drawing the game 3-3. Meanwhile, in the second division, and have you ever seen this before? It's a physio getting booked by a referee for coming on to treat a player before the ref actually blew his whistle. I mean, what happens if he gets sent off? Oh, my knee, oh, my leg, my calf, it's fallen out. Yeah, look, Lucas, I'm sorry, mate, I've been sent off. There's not really much I can do here. Paracetamol, have one of those. Our goal of the week, though, comes from the Indian Super League, where Scotsman Greg Stewart has been plying his trade, and he scored an absolutely outrageous free kick that took everybody by surprise.
Is there anything this man cannot do?
I'd also like to take this opportunity to apologise to Northwich Victoria, who scored the last goal of the week, not Nantwich. Both ends and witches. You understand the confusion. In Germany now, and in the third division, VfL Osnabrück walked off in their most recent fixture against MSV Duisburg after one of their players, Aaron Opoku, was racially abused by an opposition fan. It's the first game ever in Germany to be suspended after a racist incident. Both sides walked off the pitch. The fan in question was escorted away by police, and the rest of the stadium condemned their actions with chanting later on. It's a big action, and it's a precedent I hope the rest of Europe can follow with. A, in people actually getting arrested by police, and B, standing up against any type of prejudice, to be honest with you, coming from crowd members. And staying on the German theme, Bayern striker Robert Lewandowski of Poland has been awarded with the TikTok Player of the Year. Can we stop disrespecting this man with awards that you'd find in a Kinder Egg? All I'm saying saying is, I hope he's not won it for his actual TikToks. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty.
المحاولات زمكاوية، مجرشي يمرر إلى العربي المهاري إلى مجرشي إلى عرضية إلى جول.
And that concludes The Beautiful Game. Closer to home, and I was not expecting Blackburn striker Ben Brereton's mum to have a Stoke and Chile hybrid accent.
It's just amazing and it's a dream come true, as I say, for everybody really. Who would have thought a boy from Stoke-on-Trent and suddenly he's in my country, Chile, and playing for the La Roja, so...
Nottingham Forest's Ryan Yates won't want to watch back this outrageous own goal against Middlesbrough. Meanwhile, there's this disgusting skill from a dog on Christmas Day. He sent this mum for a Tesco meal deal. Jeffrey Kondogbia, Barkus Rashford. This little guy's got better dribbling than Romelu already. La caca. Over in the Suzuki Cup in Asia, we had an outrageous semi-final between Indonesia and Singapore. Singapore went down to 8 men in this one, 3 red cards, but had the opportunity to win the game with a 90th minute penalty. Indonesia's keeper, though, proved to be the hero of the day, saving the spot kick before an Indonesian defender then did this in front of the penalty taker after he missed it. I mean, it all kicked off, as you would expect, but it's a shithousery award for my man. A 91-year-old Atlas fan said he was determined to live to see his club next win the Mexican League title. His wish was granted this week as they won their first since 1951, and this was his reaction. It's wholesome stuff. I'm very happy for this Mexican man that I do not know. Over in Japan, and this high school team may well have revolutionized free kicks forever with an incredible ringer roses technique to try and distract their markers and manage to score from it. The African football governing body have confirmed that the African Cup of Nations will include VAR this year. I mean, if it looks anything like this, someone's just gonna unplug the extension cable. So it was an eventful night for Chuba Akpom over in Greece this week. He came on in the 77th minute of a cup game, scored 5 minutes later, then got a yellow card, scored again, and then got a red card in injury time.
So what lessons would you like to see learn moving forward? How could things be better for a manager in your situation?
Is this steward at St Mirren walking on his hands, or am I going crazy? There's an incredible developing story going on in Belgium right now, where Royal Union, I don't even know how to say, who were promoted last season, are currently 7 points clear at the top of the table, and Daniel Sturridge has been ordered by a judge to pay $30,000 to a man who returned his dog after he refused to give him the cash reward for finding him. The guy was probably bringing the dog back, then got put off by some huge inflatable arms in the distance. Now though, for the moment you've all been waiting for, because over in Romania, last week we had the story of Real Betis fans throwing teddy bears onto the pitch to be donated to a children's charity. Well, it turns out it's a tradition in this beautiful land as well, as fans of top tier side Sepsi threw as many as they could onto the pitch as well. Shouts Romania for some wholesome stuff this time. Back in England, and what better way for fans to stay entertained at a match than to read some jokes off the back of a penguin bar.
What type of pasta do penguins eat? One, penguini!
Over in Ghana, and a record has been broken by Augustine Dozu, who's become the youngest player to ever score in their Premier Division at the age of just 15. In Uganda, and a game had to be suspended over there when the crowd invaded the pitch after a referee gave a penalty to the visiting side.
Tek top oynadı Tete. Münir ceza sahası. Gol şansı. Münir vurdu. Ferhat. Sekti top. Adem vurdu.
You can't complain about not receiving the pass and then miss the opportunity straight away, man. Meanwhile, again, continuing the theme of dogs being amazing at football. Now though, it's time for still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now. This is a segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. And they always say that being a goalkeeper is the hardest job in football, but not true here, because this guy just seems to make it so easy. On to the weird stuff though now. Hero of the channel and Bruneian winger Faiq Bolkiah has signed for a team over in Thailand by the name of Chonburi FC. He's not going to be on FIFA, lads. I hate to break it to you, but I'm glad my boy Faiq is getting some game time. Over at Dundee, and I've got no idea what's going on there, but they had to register their assistant manager Dave M.I.A as a player to sit on the bench for their most recent game. Do this in the Premier League, mate. If you run out of players, slap Thomas Tuchel at DM. A similar vibe over in India right now, where Rajasthan United, newly promoted, only have 9 players to their name to be able to register. So they fielded a team of 9, and their substitutes list was made up of just adjectives. Hard work, courage, motivation. It seems a bit unfair to me to have God chilling on the bench, but it's a ball through into dedication. And finally, we've got the amazing story of Shadab Ifitkar, a huge Football Manager fan turned actual football manager. He spent most of his teen years playing Championship Manager that of course then developed into FM, and has held roles as a scout as well as a coaching gig for Mongolia's national team. He's now taken on one of Scotland's most difficult jobs, going to Fort William, who are in the Scottish Highland Football League. Look, Shadab, all the other Football Manager addicts are firmly behind you, wishing you good luck in your new position. But that is going to wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at officialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.